Another day, another chance, another way, another dance. So yeah, so pretty much from chapter one going on chapter two, and it's pretty much based on like BMI calculators, right? Just BMI calculators. Don't worry, I'm not being attacked. Just don't worry. So it's just BMI calculators. We're just gonna see how everything works in a BMI calculator. So let's get right into it. Yo, okay. So let's begin a new project. You finish the previous chapter, you can copy the existing code and extract each HTML and paste it in a new fresh HTML index, right? Okay. Yada yada yada. So yeah. So this pretty much this the HTML. So let's go into the HTML right now. So it's my code public index.html. Okay. So obviously in HTML, right, I told it's more like JavaScript, but not entirely close. Just makes it easier for you to do stuff that you do in JavaScript. So by having like JSON packages, so you press Shift, exclamation mark, Enter, then you can end up with this, right? Got your head, right? The meta and everything, and within that, that's where you create stuff. So BMI calculator title, then you got your API here, your link href. So this is the link that you're referencing to this bootstrap here. Then right, so the relation to links to like the link document style sheet. Then you got it's pretty much the integrity. Okay. So yeah. So this title, the link for it is what you've got here. So this is what you see here, BMI calculator. The title from, so within the head, you're going to see this in the head. So here's the JSON language, right? License, etc. Right, so here's the license, and yeah. So this is where all the stuff is. This is pretty much like the JSON language. So this is pretty much like JavaScript language that's been modeled up in such a way that you won't understand, but the computer will. So this is all the language. So your CSS is in here and everything that you need in here. So root, scroll, border, color, this and that, etc. This is just the overall bootstrap. Okay. So you got your body, class container, right? Is BMI calculator. So actually for the head actually refers to like what you see here. You know when you go to a web browser and then you see the title of the web page, yeah, that's what this head refers to, and the link reference to it. You know what I mean? Yeah. Class container BMI. So this pretty much refers to like the title, form, HX trigger. So you got your post target. So the reason why we're not using get is because we're not trying to post information onto the web browser. What we're trying to do is we're trying to use the web browser to key in information, right, on the web browser. So HX post pretty much like post a calculation, right? So that calculation, right, so the post enables you to actually key in, right, allows you to key in much necessary information, right, in the web browser, and then HX targets the result. So that's what it is, right? Okay, so app post calculate. So this is referring to so this here is referring to what we've got on the server, the name of the app we've got on the server. So this is pretty much like an ID, sort of like an ID, right? And then the target is result, hashtag result. So this is pretty much like results, the target's the result that we want to get out of this. Trigger submit. So that's the trigger, HX trigger, right? Calculate your BMI, the resulting stuff that you get. So you got your input name, placeholder, and etc. With height, text, form control, height meters. So that's pretty much like what you've got here. So as you can see, I've got 193. So your placeholder, right? Your placeholder allows you to add in. So your placeholder is just a generic typing that you've got in place of the actual values that you need to type in. Class form control, right? So class form control. So it allows CSS to actually format in such a way that it's actually been set up in like form, like the CSS part of it will actually allow like borders, right? Type text. So the type of input that you want to put in is going to be text. Then the input name is going to be height. Oh, okay, so constant height, right? So this is referring to the name of it, right? Right, so this is referring to like this is what's being referred to, the constant, right, which is the height. So the input name, right, the name is referring to like the height here, height, weight, my name. So that's what's being referred to, my name. Right, then button submit, then BTN primary calculate BMI button. So buying tabs like submitting. So this sends like a prompt that the button type, right, stuff has to be like submitted. So that's a trigger. So the trigger submit, type button submit. So the HX trigger is going to be submit. So whenever you click on the button submit info here, calculate BMI button. So you've got your opening tags and your closing tags. Div ID result. So that's what's gonna be so that's what's gonna be here. Your div ID result. Right. So what we've done here is someone sent me this link right to this. So this pretty much creates a new placeholder, and a new format and new class and everything. Pretty much like a new insert table. And the name of the insert of the placeholder is insert name. So that's what it is. So div ID result. So it's resulting stuff. Alright, so that's your HX target, your target result. So that's gonna be like your placeholder. Script, right? The bootstrap. Check your bootstrap. So this is bootstrap for your scripts. It's pretty much like event name, property name, this and that, etc. So this is pretty much like for your prompts, your like alerts, your script source. Cross origin anonymous integrity, that's integrity, body, closing tags for HTML, body, got your JSON. So this is the language that you and I understand the computer, and the computer understands, right? So we understand this, and the computer understands this. This is pretty much the computer's way of getting to understand the settings, the setup, and structure of pretty much the project that you're working on, the module that you're working on. Its server, structure, lettering, wording, etc. That's what it does. That's what it is. Yes, yeah. Then there's your height, your parse flow. So this is pretty much your calculate. So that's gonna be your HX post. So that's what you're gonna be posting. So for your server, you're gonna be posting this onto your web browser. So your constant height, parse flow, request, body height, parse flow, request, body height. So you can be posting a weight. Then you're gonna proposing this function to convert string to floating point number. In here, you can't BMI. This is what can be posted. BMI with weight, height times height, weight divided by height times height. Cause my name, quest body name. So no string needs to be converted, right? So you're just gonna end up with the parameter, which is gonna measure like your request, which is your body. So it's gonna measure your body and gonna measure my name, right? Then it's gonna send this. So these are the calculations that are gonna be made here. Each one my name. So when you do send, my name is gonna be sent here. So my name, height of meters and weight of so this pretty much, this is a method of representing a number in a fixed point notation. So that's what it is. So it needs to be number of digits after decimal point. The number of digits, right, should be fixed to the second number after the digit, right? So your second integer, fixed your second integer. App listen. So this pretty much updates everything that you're gonna. So this pretty much sends an app listener to your terminal every time you update your app, right? Every time you update the app that you've got. So it's running on a port 3000, and this for your const.log. Server is running on port 3000. So that's what you're gonna. This is what you're gonna. This is what you can see, right? This is a debugging console, right? That you might also see in your web browser log. And your server is running on port 3000. So this is what's gonna be const.log, right? So for your const.log, you can see server is running on port 3000. So you see here. So let's test this bad boy out. So for your const height, so for your height, right, your weight, then as you can see, the HTML and your server correlates. So HTML pretty much refers to like the way it's gonna look, right, on your web browser. It's gonna look like this input. So this is what's pretty much gonna look like. So everything that you see here is what you can see there. Input type, everything that's discussed can be seen there. This pretty much refers to the functionality of the HTML that you can see on the web browser. So it refers to the functionality of this jig. So obviously we actually install Express, so that pretty much comes like the Django install. Install Express functionality on the terminal, functionality. So all of this, right, with the functionality of what's here in the HTML. Then for your app listener, this pretty much takes everything that you've got, the functionality, right, and pretty much sends it to your terminal. you need your terminal to be running in order for you to actually access the stuff that you got in your server, right? So app listener server is running on port 3000, right? So port 3000 server is running, yada yada yada. Okay, so your server is running now. Set execution policy node server.js. Server is running on port 2000. Okay, so calculate BMI, right? From Lenny, my name, thank you. Height of 1 meter. And let's just do like 2. Height of 2 meters and weight of 80 gives a BMI of 20. So that's pretty much